What if I told you that one single group of foods, carbohydrates, could either accelerate your aging or help you reverse it? Sound dramatic, right? But for millions of Americans over 60, the truth is unfolding on their plates every single day. The same toast, cereal, crackers, and light snacks we relied on for decades are quietly becoming a threat, silently driving up blood sugar, inflaming our guts, draining our energy, and even weakening our brains and muscles. Let's pause for a moment. If you're in your 60s or beyond, think about this. Do you often feel tired after meals? Do you struggle with brain fog, unexpected weight gain, achy joints, or blood sugar issues, even though you think you're eating pretty healthy? If yes, then the answer might lie in the type of carbs you're eating, not just how much. You see, after 60, your body doesn't handle carbs the way it used to. The pancreas slows down, insulin sensitivity drops, and digestive efficiency decreases. That means fast-burning, fiberless carbs hit harder, last longer, and do more damage. What used to be harmless is now actively harmful. But here's the good news. Not all carbs are enemies. In fact, some carbohydrates can protect you. They feed your good gut bacteria, stabilize your energy, boost brain health, and even help maintain muscle mass. The key is knowing which carbs to embrace and which to ditch for good. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 4 best carbs you should be eating daily to fight aging, improve digestion, and rebuild energy, and the 4 worst carbs that are silently sabotaging your metabolism, gut health, and longevity, ranked from bad to downright dangerous. And let me be clear, this isn't about going low carb or fearing food. This is about eating smarter, especially now that every bite carries more impact. If you stick around to the end, you'll not only understand the science behind how carbs affect you, but you'll walk away with practical swaps you can start using today. Because aging is inevitable, but how you age, that's up to you. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon. That way, you won't miss more science-based tips to keep your body sharp, your energy high, and your health protected as you age. Now, let's get into it. Starting with the first of the 4 powerhouse carbs that every senior should be eating right now. The 4 best carbs seniors should eat every day. Number 4, green peas, a muscle-building superfood in disguise. Let's start with one of the most surprising contenders, green peas. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Peas? Really? That bland little veggie you pushed aside of your plate as a kid? But hear me out. For older adults, green peas are a nutritional secret weapon, and not just because they're high in fiber or low in calories. What makes them exceptional is how they directly combat age-related muscle loss, a condition known as sarcopenia. You see, green peas contain leucine, an amino acid typically found in animal proteins like chicken or beef. Leucine plays a critical role in signaling your body to build and preserve muscle tissue. And after 60, that signal gets weaker and needs a boost. A 2022 study in the journal Nutrients showed that seniors who consume green legumes like peas at least 3 times per week maintained 14% more muscle mass over 2 years, even without added exercise. That's the kind of impact we're talking about, just from adding a cup of peas to your meals. But peas don't stop at muscles. They're also rich in resistant starch and soluble fiber, which slow down digestion, reduce insulin spikes, and stabilize blood sugar, all critical for aging bodies with declining glucose tolerance. Even more impressive, peas contain chemol, a phytonutrient that soothes inflammation in the intestinal lining. When your gut is inflamed, even the healthiest foods can cause bloating, fatigue, and poor nutrient absorption. And here's a bonus. They're easy to cook and taste great when paired with olive oil, garlic, and a pinch of sea salt. Just don't boil them to mush. Light steaming keeps their nutrients intact. Think of peas not as a side dish, but as a senior's muscle-saving, gut-healing supercarb. Image prompt. A bowl of vibrant green peas, lightly steamed and sprinkled with olive oil and minced garlic, with a label Nature's Secret Muscle Saver for seniors. Number 3. Steel-cut oats, the morning shield against aging. Next up, let's talk about breakfast. If you've been starting your mornings with toast or cereal, your body might be riding a roller coaster of sugar spikes and crashes, and that roller coaster only gets more dangerous as we age. Instead, consider switching to steel-cut oats. Unlike instant or quick oats, steel-cut oats are minimally processed, keeping their natural fiber and structure. That means they digest much slower, releasing glucose gradually and keeping your blood sugar stable for hours. For seniors, this is a game changer. Why? Because with age, your pancreas slows down, insulin becomes less effective, and blood sugar stays elevated longer. Over time, this damages blood vessels, nerves, and your brain. But steel-cut oats fight back with beta-glucan, a powerful soluble fiber found in high amounts only in these less processed oats. According to a 2023 meta-analysis in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, one bowl of steel-cut oats per day reduced LDL cholesterol by up to 15% in adults over 60. It also lowered C-reactive protein, a major marker of inflammation linked to arthritis, cognitive decline, and even stroke. Beta-glucan also feeds your good gut bacteria, especially bifidobacteria, helping produce short-chain fatty acids that heal your gut lining, reduce cravings, and improve mood. You're not just getting a carb. You're getting a heart protector, gut healer, and brain booster all in one. Just remember, skip the brown sugar and artificial creamers. Use cinnamon, flax seeds, and fresh berries instead. Image prompt: a wholesome breakfast bowl of steel-cut oats with blueberries, cinnamon, and flax seeds, labeled morning fuel that fights inflammation and brain fog. Number 2, sweet potatoes, the antioxidant powerhouse. Let's sweeten things up with a carb that's as delicious as it is powerful. Sweet potatoes. These aren't just better-tasting alternatives to white potatoes. They're fundamentally different in how they interact with your aging body. Sweet potatoes are packed with complex carbs that provide long-lasting energy without overwhelming your insulin system. That's critical after 60, when even a small sugar spike can leave you fatigued, blurry-eyed, or mentally foggy. But the real magic lies in their beta-carotene, which converts into vitamin A, a nutrient that supports your immune system, vision, and skin integrity. In fact, a 2022 study in Frontiers in Aging found that older adults who consumed orange flesh vegetables like sweet potatoes had better memory, fewer infections, and lower risk of macular degeneration. Here's another secret. When you cook and cool sweet potatoes, their resistant starch content increases dramatically, feeding the good bacteria in your colon and reducing inflammation throughout your body. They're also rich in magnesium and potassium, which help regulate your heart rhythm and relax tight muscles. If you deal with night cramps or feel your heartbeat flutter, sweet potatoes might be the missing puzzle piece. Try roasting them whole with the skin on. Add turmeric or cinnamon to amplify their anti-inflammatory properties. Image prompt: slice roasted sweet potatoes topped with cinnamon and turmeric, with steam rising in a soft orange glow. Title: Sweet, Safe, and Superpower for 60+. Number 1. Lentils, the all-in-one carb for aging strong. Finally, we reach the number 1 carbohydrate for seniors: lentils. These tiny legumes pack an enormous punch. Lentils are loaded with complex carbs, plant-based protein, prebiotic fiber, iron, magnesium, and folate, a combination that supports everything from blood sugar control to DNA repair. Lentils sit low on the glycemic index, meaning they don't spike your blood sugar. They also provide steady, long-lasting energy, which is essential for older adults whose mitochondria, the body's energy factories, naturally slow down. A 2021 study in the British Journal of Nutrition found that seniors who ate lentils 3 times per week had better insulin sensitivity, lower fasting glucose, and improved cholesterol ratios compared to those who didn't. But perhaps their biggest benefit? Lentils feed your microbiome. After 60, your gut bacteria diversity plummets, leading to inflammation, brain fog, and weaker immunity. Lentils reverse that, producing anti-inflammatory compounds like propionate and acetate that restore gut health. And because they're also high in iron, magnesium, and folate, lentils strengthen your blood, support your nerves, and keep your memory sharp, especially in women over 60 who are more prone to folate deficiency. Sparkles cook them with garlic, cumin, or bay leaves for added healing power. Avoid canned varieties full of sodium. Go for dried, minimally processed ones. The 4 worst carbs destroying your health after 60. We've covered the best carbs for aging strong. Now it's time to flip the coin. Because let's be honest, it's not enough to just add healthy carbs. You also need to remove the dangerous ones, the ones that look innocent but wreak havoc on your metabolism, your gut, and your brain every single day. These next four carbs? They're not just bad food choices, they're aging accelerators. They raise blood sugar like fireworks, inflame your intestines, and even increase the risk of stroke, heart failure, and early dementia. Let's count them down. Starting with the one that hides in plain sight on nearly every breakfast table in America. Number 4, white sandwich bread, the sweet deceiver. It doesn't matter if it's toasted, sliced for sandwiches, or paired with your favorite soup. White bread is one of the most dangerous carbs for seniors. Why? Because it's made from ultra-refined flour, which digests faster than table sugar. It sends your blood sugar soaring, then crashing, leaving you fatigued, hungry, and foggy. And after 60, those crashes hit harder. A 2021 study in diabetes care followed over 8,000 adults over age 60. The result? Those who ate white bread daily had a 29% higher risk of type 2 diabetes and a 16% higher risk of heart disease. Here's what's worse. White bread contains almost no fiber, so it starves your gut bacteria. It's also loaded with added sugars, hydrogenated oils, and enriched flour that fools your body into feeling full, while providing none of the protection your organs need. Stop sign if you're still eating white bread for breakfast or lunch. Your body is fighting a sugar war it cannot win. White heavy checkmark better choice. 100% sprouted grain or stone ground whole wheat bread with at least 3 grams of fiber per slice. And check those labels. Wheat or multi-grain means nothing unless it's the first ingredient. Image prompt. A split screen image. On one side, a slice of fluffy white bread under a warning symbol. On the other, sprouted grain bread with a heart-shaped icon. Caption. White bread versus whole grain. Choose for your heart. Number 3, rice cakes, the metabolic imposter. They're crunchy, light, and sold as diet food, but rice cakes are one of the most misleading carbs for seniors. With no fiber, no fat, and no real nutrition, rice cakes hit your bloodstream like pure glucose. A 2020 study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology showed that puffed white rice, like the kind in most rice cakes, raised blood sugar by over 200% compared to whole grains in seniors. But it doesn't stop there. That rapid sugar spike triggers a huge insulin dump. And for older adults, whose cells respond slower to insulin, that means longer-lasting high blood sugar, increased inflammation, and even nerve damage. Even worse, rice cakes don't satisfy hunger. There's no fiber or fat to slow digestion, so you get hungry again fast, snack more, and often gain weight, even though you think you're eating light. And don't be fooled by the flavored ones. They're often loaded with maltodextrin, artificial sweeteners, and sodium-heavy coatings that raise your blood pressure and irritate your gut lining. Rice cakes aren't harmless. They're blood sugar bombs wearing health food disguises. White heavy checkmark better choice. A slice of whole grain toasted avocado or a handful of raw almonds. You'll feel fuller longer, and your body will thank you. Image prompt. A stylized close-up of plain rice cakes breaking apart like glass, overlaid with a blood sugar spike chart. Caption, rice cakes, the snack that spikes then crashes. Number 2, packaged breakfast cereals, sugar in disguise. They sit on grocery shelves in bright boxes, covered in health claims like heart healthy, whole grain, or fortified with vitamins. But make no mistake, most packaged breakfast cereals are nutritional landmines, especially for seniors. Whether it's cornflakes, oat clusters, or bran blends, these cereals are almost always made from refined grains, stripped of their natural fiber and loaded with added sugars. Your body digests them as fast as table sugar, meaning that even a small bowl can wreak havoc on your insulin. Worse still, the artificial crunch. Cereals are often puffed, flaked, or coated, speeding up digestion even more and slamming your bloodstream with glucose. A 2019 study in the Journal of Gerontology found that adults over 60 who ate processed cereals 5 times a week had a 22% higher risk of metabolic syndrome, a condition that includes high blood pressure, blood sugar issues, and belly fat. Many cereals also contain phosphates, emulsifiers, and artificial colors, ingredients that weaken bones, disrupt gut bacteria, and interfere with mineral absorption. Even cereals labeled high fiber often use sugar disguises like fruit juice concentrate, or barley malt extract. Bowl with spoon if you're pairing cereal with low-fat milk. You're adding even more sugar and skipping the fat your body needs to stay balanced. White heavy checkmark better choice. Unsweetened Greek yogurt with chia seeds or a boiled egg with whole grain toast. More protein, less spike. Image prompt. A cereal bowl with rainbow color flakes dissolving into sugar cubes next to a nutrition label showing hidden sugars. Caption. The breakfast trap, cereal that ages you faster. Number 1. French fries, the silent destroyer. They're golden, crispy, and irresistible. But for seniors, French fries may be the single most dangerous carbohydrate on the plate. Here's why. Fries aren't just high in refined starch. They're deep-fried in inflammatory oils, loaded with salt, and often coated in acrylamides, harmful compounds formed when starch is cooked at high heat. A 2023 study in nutrition and aging found that seniors who ate fried potatoes twice a week had a 36% higher risk of stroke and were twice as likely to develop insulin resistance. But it gets worse. Fries destroy your gut bacteria, weaken your gut lining, and block absorption of critical nutrients like vitamin B12, folate, and magnesium, the exact nutrients your muscles and brain need as you age. And the salt? One serving of fast food fries can contain over 300 milligrams of sodium. And let's be real, who stops at one serving? Plus, fries are emotional food. They're linked to social eating, burgers, sandwiches, takeout, which makes them even harder to give up. But the toll they take is enormous. Heart strain, swelling, fatigue, brain fog, and early cognitive decline. If you love potatoes, switch to sweet potato wedges roasted with olive oil and herbs. Still tasty without the toxic trade-off. How you eat is how you age. Let's take a deep breath and reflect. We've covered a lot. For powerful carbs that build strength, sharpen focus, and protect your gut, and 4 common culprits that quietly sabotage your body every single day. And if you're over 60, this isn't just another nutrition tip. This is life-saving information. Because here's the hard truth. Your body doesn't process carbohydrates the way it used to. After 60, everything slows down: digestion, insulin response, muscle recovery. That means carbs that were once harmless now cause real damage. The same slice of white bread or plate of fries that felt fine in your 30s can now raise your risk of stroke, dementia, and early frailty. But you are not powerless. You don't need to go keto. You don't need to count every gram. What you do need is to be intentional. Because every carb you eat now is either fueling your vitality or speeding up your decline. There's no neutral ground, and the changes can start small. Right arrow, swap your white bread for sprouted grain. Right arrow, trade your cereal for oats. Right arrow, replace rice cakes with almonds or avocado toast. Right arrow, say goodbye to fries, and hello to roasted sweet potatoes. These aren't sacrifices. They're investments in your brain, your energy, your independence. Ask yourself this. Do I want to keep managing symptoms or start reversing them? Because the carbs you choose can either build your body back up or keep breaking it down. And here's the most empowering part. The science says it's never too late. Aging is real, yes, but how you age, how strong, clear-headed, and resilient you remain, that's shaped by daily choices. It's shaped by what you put on your plate, one bite at a time. So next time you open your fridge or pantry, remember this episode. Remember what you learned. And remind yourself, speech balloon, every bite is either medicine or poison. I choose healing. This is Gold Zenith Health. Thank you for watching. And if this message spoke to you, please share it with someone you care about. One video can change a life. Maybe this is the one. White heavy check mark, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell because we got more life-changing, science-backed health content coming your way every week. Until next time, stay sharp, stay strong, and remember, your health is your legacy.